even merrier when you add postpaid to internet. Unwrap a new Samsung smartphone for only $29. Plus, we're giving you 50% off your mobile bill. And win even more goodies with our Spin the Wheel Christmas promotion. This Christmas, the rewards are on us. Add postpaid to your internet plan today in-store or visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply. Flow, we keep your Christmas rhythm flowing.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
And it is 9:25 here in beautiful SVG. The sun is out. For those of you facing the cold, the sun is out in beautiful SVG, all right? Blue skies, blue waters. Yeah, it's peaceful. It's lovely. Sun is out. Let me say it again. The sun is out. Yes, I am rubbing it in for all of those of you experiencing winter.
Hey, don't forget that we come in here with the kind compliments of Flo, all right? And the folks who are sponsoring us this morning.
Oh, that's somebody was calling. Oh, okay. All righty. So a couple things, all right? So we do have 2 tickets to give away to the Legacy Cocktail event that is happening this Thursday. Yes, this Thursday. It is taking place at the Mill. Let me just pull up that information. I don't think that is a proper word, but let me just pull up the information. I can sing until I
we take a
find
call in the
it.
meantime as you look for your information. Hello, good morning.
All right, I found it.
Yeah, good morning. Now, last Friday, Roleza, you're talking about the murder. And you say you hope this man conscience would ride him where he will confess. So you are already pronouncing the man to be guilty. When somebody get arrested, it doesn't mean the person is guilty.
Okay.
And I notice you always do it. You always do it when an ordinary person get arrested or accused of something. Your commentary is like the person is guilty.
Okay, noted, Queens.
You did it.
Okay, noted.
Huh?
Noted.
Because when politicians get accused of things, you don't come and assume there that the politician are guilty, because the first thing you're gonna think about the station gonna get sued.
So you are going to liken and equate somebody who has, so in my commentary, somebody who has been charged with allegations that are put out in the public when it comes to politicians. Have any of these politicians who allegations have been made against been charged? Queens, keep going. All right, so I do understand where Queens is coming from, and I can take the point in terms of, yes, until somebody is found guilty, that I should be careful in terms of how it is I phrase certain things. But I can't liken, we said call, but I can't liken an allegation being put forward with the same as a charge being laid against somebody. All right, so just something there to note. Good morning, Val.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning,
Roleza. Good morning, Maka.
Good morning, Val.
This is the open forum, right?
It is, yes.
So is it possible for me to revisit Life's commentary?
Sure.
Okay, good. Well, I want to first begin by saying that I agree with the comments, most of the comments that I made this morning in relation to persons claiming or giving themselves the title of journalist. I mean, it's crazy. And I like the way he created it, that if someone starts speaking law, does that automatically makes them a lawyer? And so too for doctors, right? I cringe when I hear it. And persons speaking about the fourth estate. I mean, if I knew it was so easy to just come on the radio, I would not have spent monies and endless nights being trained for this field. Now, he made mention of persons and credibility with releases coming from organizations. I think the thing about it is that we here in St. Vincent, we don't really understand journalism and news. Now, journalism, in my opinion, can be bracketed. There's investigative journalism and there's straight journalism. Straight journalism being just, the basic who, what, when, where, why, how. Whereas the investigative journalism now can take on a more in-depth research. And I must give Kenton Chance Eyewitness News kudos for that. Now, when an organization sends out a news release, it is up to the trained journalist to decide whether or not it is news. Because most of the times what happens is that this document is actually a promotion or an awareness from a PR perspective. So when the journalist gets this document, it's for him or her to use their journalistic knowledge to see where is the news value in this piece of document. So many times you have organizations sending out and thinking, well, hey, why didn't I get placed? Or why? Because it's of no news value. So you, and again, let me say that what I'm saying here is for news purposes only, educational purposes only, and I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. You cannot chastise someone for taking a different angle of finding the news in a release. And that will be based on the person's training and the direction that I would say keep the content, but maybe a different angle. Let's take, for example, I think it was last week, the other international airports sent out a few press releases on social media. And those releases came from the CEO. Now, in a proper working world and organization, communications comes from the PR person, or the communication specialist of the organization. When these releases were posted on social media, I noticed that someone affiliated with the previous administration added additional information. And I said to that person privately that this information should have been part of the release. He agreed. Also, a release coming from an organization must have a contact number. Without that, then the journalist cannot truly practice his profession because there may be more information that's needed, all right, that the public would want to know, unless you're going to continue the PR work of the organization. Again, this whole thing where people are seeing and lambasting journalists, because the person mentioned this morning, I know the individual pretty well. We work together. I know him as a trained professional, but maybe his approach or his style may not be liked by many. You know, Maka and Roleza, I don't know where you all were around the 90s or so, but an attempt was made to form a media workers association. You had persons like myself, Kenton Chance, Jomo Thomas, the former Minister of Tourism, Carlos James.
In the 1990s?
In the 1990s, yes. We attempted it, but in 1998, yeah, definitely. I mean, you can fact check it, and those guys could also support what I'm saying. So we don't have a formation of a media workers association in St. Vincent. We don't have news knowledge in terms of educating the people what news is about. Now, some people may not know, some may know. Just recently, the Bureau of Standards, they released a document called Code of Practice for Broadcasting. Now, while this practice does not speak to online publications, because that's a different space, but what you have is that you have broadcasters taking these same stories and making them a part of their news package. So this is where they become liable here, and not understanding the intricacies and the ethical practices when it comes to journalism. Another point that Life made, and I hear it all the time, you would see that a court case may be held in camera, and you may write a story on it, and person would say, no, we want to see the person's face, we want to know who you be, where. It's the reason why it's held in camera. It's a case involving a minor. Mm-hmm. And releasing certain information can also release the identity of the minor. You see, so it doesn't matter how many commentaries are done. These so-called journalists, they're going to continue posting on their websites. What I think needs to be done, there has to be a serious educational drive for persons to understand journalism and what is true journalism and what in fact is news. And here ended the sermon.
No, but
Thank you guys very much.
I'm listening to you, but I also think that you are going to be facing an uphill battle. Not that I say it's not a battle worth fighting, but because of the landscape that we are currently in. And I can understand and appreciate when persons who are trained, who are professionals in their field, when they come across persons who are just doing things for ratings, to go viral, to maybe be known as number one without the proper training behind them. But it's what the public accepts, right? So is this training going to go beyond just those who are in the field, or is it going to extend to the public? Because we're the ones who are consuming everything. And we are the ones who are maybe accepting everything as wholesale, thinking that this is correct. You understand?
Yes, you know, that's the point I was making, that there needs to be a drive for public awareness of to know what is news and stop giving these news sites the clicks. You understand? I'm able to decipher. It's no knowledge that in St. Vincent we are not a reading nation. All right, I'm not pulling us down, but that's a known fact. That's a known fact. Let's compare to Barbados that has a daily newspaper. I mean, I told my students this and I explained it to them, and some of them were like, really? A daily newspaper? And I said, a daily newspaper with different segments. There's home and gardening, there's business, there's auto repairs. So which means that, and they've been in business for quite a while, so which means that there's a market. But here we have a different, appetite for news, or so-called news. But I'm hoping that it's because this itself degrades the functionality and the thinking of society. You know, because you have persons writing stories, talking about people's name, identity. And it's just, I mean, if we continue along this trend, it's just a dangerous path in terms of society functioning as right-thinking individuals. And persons would know, I've always been passionate about broadcasting and journalism on a whole, you know. And one thing about broadcasting quickly, you have persons who are calling themselves broadcasters, which they're truly announcers. And many people doesn't know that there's a difference between a broadcaster and an announcer. The ridiculous thing I heard lately is that someone who reads the news is a journalist. I mean, come on, you know? And mind you, now that we are out there in the world, there are persons out there who are looking at us and, laughing at us with some of the stories and the discussions that we have, you know. But that's another story for another time. Thank you all very much for having me, though.
All right. No problem, Val. Have a good one.
All right, cool.
All right.
Well said, Val.
It's such a thin line, though. It's such a thin line. Yeah. All right. Okay, so
don't forget we still have those two tickets to give away.
Yeah. All right, so let me just say the information very quickly, all right? Hopefully the caller is going to be able to answer. So it's the Legacy Cocktail and After Party that is happening, the Enol Lawrence Scholarship Fund. And it is happening this Thursday, 7 p.m. at the Mill at Argyle. Tickets are $100. The two artists who will be performing are Rodney Small and Darren Andrews. And two DJs are Too Cool Chris and DJ Blacker. We have two very simple questions for you. Who are the DJs and who performing? All right.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Interesting program this morning. Now, all those who talk in journalism here this morning, let me tell all of you something. It's politics, right? That's why we don't have the Journalists Association. I went into the mountains in the early 2000s, did interviews with the Rastamen to collect for our book, which was published on Amazon in 2013, that sold over 300,000 copies. I have tried to get in contact with all kind of journalists here. But hear what? When they hear you went school in Stony Ground, you leave St. Vincent as a teenager, you live in Canada, you work with the airline, you're there all over the place. These people tend to, like, they don't want to share with you. And you have so much to share. Half of what some of you taught this morning is out of sync. You can't come to me and tell me about journalism. Yes, you could probably tell me about journalism, but not photojournalism. I've been doing it for years and years, and I'm looking for somebody every time I come home to help train. Mr. Rose and them tried to set up the Journalists Association with Chichester Tony and all these people and Bernard Joseph and all those people, and it's politics that stop everything. You think, right, that after so many years that we don't have a media association? Yes, there is some false news going around, and I would like everybody, this clip news or clipet news, I don't know where you come from. And the other journalist too is Eyewitness News, Kenton Chance. I'm not gonna bang him, but in 2012, when we start to bring out the marijuana book, Marijuana, a Blessing or a Curse, Kenton Chance block us off his page. But yet years later, 2018, 2019, you want to run and come and learn about marijuana now. Why didn't you learn about it before? It's a beautiful subject and it's also taboo. I've been trained in every area that you see me going around here in. I don't boast of any area that I'm outside of. That's why you see, Roleza, I do not call this radio station and talk about politics. I don't understand politics. I did never understand it, and I don't want to understand it. All I know that we were victimized to the end. You understand me? Now, you're talking about Luther McIntosh. I think Mr. McIntosh, as a big man, you should have more sense than that. You really, you should be more sensible than that. All the photos with you done going out, the nation is against you. And I'm going to tell you, Mr. McIntosh, pack your bags, man.
But are you sure the nation is against him, though? Because even the discussion we had this morning, there were mixed opinions.
Yeah, there was mixed opinions, but that is opinions with them side with them. It's two sides here. There's some serious politics at play in this country, my friend. Remember, we, people like me, can't get anything from government, you know. We don't get nothing, you know. If we bring in investors, they will take it, and the next year you see somebody else coming. I'm accustomed to that, man, till I start to laugh, right? But Luther McIntosh, you went to a graveside in St. Vincent, and you play with the grave dirt. There's people in this country don't like that. And some of the people who don't like that is some very powerful people. And really and truly, yes, I do not expect the new administration to victimize people, but you must accept there is going to be changes. You must accept there's going to be changes, especially at the airport. And I want St. Vincent and the Grenadines, including people like Franklin Spence and all them people there who used to commentate whilst the airport was being constructed. Roleza, whilst the airport was being constructed, I used to call and speak about the wind. Only other people would speak about runway. I don't know about, I didn't have the techno. I could tell you things, but other than that, I'm not in that part. I was dealing with the wind, and we proved it many times where the wind is concerned. It doesn't have a wind problem, really, but there's a steady wind. So when the pilot is about to flare, there's two things.
All right, let we get technical this morning because we almost out of time. All right, so I know you just get real technical sometimes. So yeah.
Right. So thanks for that. But anyway, there is going to be changes. You have to accept the changes. But I'm going to tell you something. By 2030, I reckon you'll have to look for a new international airport. And I say that without water in my mouth. Take care and have a nice day.
All right, Parsons.
Boy, we're running out of time. You think we should just, the next person call us, give them the ticket? If they're willing to.
If they're willing to, yes.
Maybe. All right, 457. 457-9997. That's the number
to call, right? So we ask any question.
Name two artists who will be performing at the Legacy Cocktail.
Right, and the two DJs. I just wanted to touch on. Okay, go ahead.
I received this person who ordered the ticket. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I think I know two of the DJ.
Go right ahead.
DJ Blacker and Too Cool Chris.
Hey, look at you. All right. Maka, write down a number fast for me, please. Give us your name.
Really, you still have my name?
Yes, the public needs to know your name before they say how I just gave anybody the ticket.
Okay, Paul Primus.
All right.
Paul Primus.
All right. So, Paul, we will contact you to let you know how you can collect the tickets. All right.
Thank you. You all have a great day.
You as well. Thank you. All right, so we would keep the second question for tomorrow unless somebody wants to call very quickly. The next question is who are the name two artists who will be performing.
I could answer the question.
You ain't going nowhere. If you're going, you gotta carry me. And I ain't driving.
All right, let me take this final caller. Hello, good morning.
Hey, Queens. Queens.
Hello?
Hi.
Yeah, I did not hang up, I get cut off.
Nobody cut you off over here,
Yeah,
all right? The call
No,
probably...
no, okay. The call dropped, yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
I'll accept
Thank
that.
you. Mm-hmm. You put me up
there's,
about you put me up about choice awards. You had a careful with yours too.
There is there's a radio station that it gets sued a couple years ago because a person was arrested for a crime, and according to the commentary in the morning, they were he filed defamation thing against them because they was feeling like he's guilty. So the case went to trial, and they won the case, but the damage already done. So I'm telling you, not because somebody arrested and charged for something. Look too cool got arrested and charged, but he's found not guilty. So you can't just go because somebody...
Queens, did you hear me say that Queens, hold on. Did you hear me say that I accept the point that you're making, but I'm not likening it to you, the allegations made against a politician? Did you hear me say that I accepted your point?
Yeah, I said that. But
all right, so why are you saying it again if I said that I accept your point?
Choose something, and you think they're guilty, or whether somebody was charged for something, or the trial without the person being convicted in court, that's still defamation. It's still defamation.
Queens, did you hear? Queens, is it a case where you just need to have the last word in terms of the point that you're emphasizing? Because I already said I accepted your point. So I don't understand why it is you're going on with this.
You don't equate the same thing. It's defamation is the word here. All right. We'll leave it there for today. Bye.
Queens just test me or no? He does real test me or no? All right. Let me just one thing that
let's see if this person
has the answer.
Want to go to the show. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. The answer is Darren Andrews. I'm running through now.
Correct. What's your name?
Alondia Jack.
Alondia?
Yes, please.
Alondia Jack. All right. So just stay on the line. Let Maka write down the number.
Sure.
All right, so Alondia, we have your number and we will be in contact with you to let you know how you can collect your tickets. All right, you're welcome.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome. All righty.
All right, so the 2 tickets are gone.
Yep, just like that. And I just wanted to make a point because Joshua asked the question, Mr. Hahn, we haven't forgotten you, but we would address it tomorrow morning, right? When the actual start of 9 mornings happens. No, the one for Dexter Rose. Go down. All right. So Joshua had asked the question about the changing of positions being in the Constitution. So we did get an explanation about it. Not going to read it in full, but just to let you know. And of course, this is from an authoritative source. So So the Constitution of St. Vincent and the Grenadines does not explicitly detail the procedures for diplomatic staff changes upon a new administration, as these processes are typically handled through legislation like the Foreign Service Act and international law conventions such as the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations. All right. So just to note in summary, the transition of diplomatic staff is primarily an executive and administrative matter governed by domestic law and international convention rather than explicit prescriptions. All right. So it's not necessarily wholly and solely covered in the Constitution, but it is something that is handled maybe through Foreign Affairs or Foreign Service Act, etc. All right. So just something to note. Given that Joshua raised it, we got a response. So we're letting everybody else know. Okay. And with that, we are heading on out of our segment for today. This was our Talk to Us open forum. And we're heading directly into today's Community Dateline.
Nothing else sounds as good as